Well, if you thought it was just going to be a select minority of publishers that would be raising their prices on video games heading into next generation, unfortunately, it seems to be the majority of them will in fact be raising their price. Warner Brother Games is seemingly the next to join an already hefty lineup of publishers that are raising the price on their video games. On top of that, we have an update on Mass Effect Trilogy, possibly a brand new name for it, and you can see the PlayStation 5 in your own room with the augmented reality model, and that's actually pretty interesting, and I'll talk about that at the end of this video. But first of all, Warner Brother Games increases next-gen game prices, Gotham Knights, etc. Now, right now, this is only confirmed overseas, but you would imagine that this would be also translating to an increased price over here stateside. I really believe it's just going to be the majority of publishers that are going to be raising their price to $70 on video games. Right now, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League are both at increased prices overseas, so that is something to take away. I know this is going to be something that's going to upset a lot of people, and I see where you're coming from, man. Just looking at like buying a new release game, $70 plus tax, you're talking about at least $75 for some of these games, and that's just a hefty price to pay, especially if you're picking up the PlayStation 5. Let's say you're buying the PlayStation 5 on launch day and you want to pick up 2 or 3 games with it. That's a hefty price you're gonna pay, man. I know that there are a select few games that are still $60. Sackboy, the Little Big Planet adventure game, I think, there's a couple of other games that are still $60. I think the Ubisoft games are still $60, but they're $60 because they're being released on previous generation platforms and then they're having an upgrade attached to them. So I don't even think Ubisoft's going to stick with the $60 model for that long. And then, of course, even a game like Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, you might think, hey, it's $50. That's even cheaper than your typical $60. Well, we've been told that that game is, what's it called? On the level of Uncharted Lost Legacy, and if you go back to Uncharted Lost Legacy, that game released at $40, so if you actually pinpoint a lot of this stuff, prices are going up, which is a little bit of a bummer. I know that I'm one of the more cheap people that you're gonna come across, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of paying $70, but I imagine a lot of you guys aren't either, and yeah, that's probably gonna be an even bigger incentive to, you know, wait for sales outside of those games that you are super excited for. Look, there's always going to be games to people, at least I believe so, that franchise they're such a big fan of that they're going to drop the full price on day one to have it on day one. For me, a game like Final Fantasy 16 is going to be that. I will pay whatever price is necessary to play that game on day one, but all of these games, if it wasn't, you know, a thing that I do on YouTube to cover video games and talk about video games, you know, if I was just Joe Schmo working a regular job, and I didn't have this YouTube outlet, man, I would be super picky about what games I'm picking up for $70. That's why I think something like Microsoft's Game Pass is looking even more enticing, because you have things like, you know, $70 games, and they're having their games being added to Game Pass day one. I mean, I would much rather pay $10 a month or whatever subscription fee it is than $70 a pop for every game. Credit to a Reset Era user, Raygor, who did discover this, so yeah, this was on GameStop Italy, so a bummer. Let me know what you guys think about it, man. Is this gonna be an even bigger incentive for you guys to wait on more and more sales, or is it something like, alright, you kind of expected it, you know, games are getting costlier to develop, but I'm worried about the fact that, hey, games are going up to $70, that's a premium price point, but then you're also talking about these games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey having crazy microtransactions, and all of these games having so much microtransactions attached to them, DLC content, everything like that. You know, $70 is gonna be harder and harder to justify, but I guess it is what it is, and this kind of comes with the territory when you're talking about next generation experiences. Alright, moving on from that, Mass Effect Trilogy is reportedly named the Legendary Edition. Mass Effect Legendary Edition has been rumored for quite some time and only popped up yesterday with another retailer listing. EA is reportedly to reveal the game in October, so we're not going to have to wait that long for a release. And coming from Jeff Grubb of Video Game Chronicle, he did note that the game is supposedly titled Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So take that for what you will. I believe this is because there's a Mass Effect Trilogy that released a while ago, and that included all 3 games, but that was on like last generation platforms, so they probably just wanted a fresh new name. I don't know what is typically legendary about 3 remasters. I mean, Mass Effect is already a legendary franchise, but yeah, I think Legendary Edition might cause a little bit of confusion, but let's give gamers a little bit more credit. I mean, I don't think they're that dumb that they're gonna get confused by this, so all should be well with that. October reveal, and I would imagine the game would be out before the end of this year, but who knows? We've been hearing about this for quite a while, so we'll see what's up with that in the very near future. And lastly, I do want to note, and this is kind of important, the PlayStation 5 size is well documented now, Sony releasing the official dimensions and an illustrator offering comparisons drawings of the console, but if you're trying to figure out how big the console is, you can do that. You can go to a link, which I'll leave in the description box below on Push Square. They have the link on their article, and then tap the AR button in the bottom right, and you'll view a scaled 3D model of the PlayStation 5, and you can use AR to see how it fits in your room. Let's put it simply, this console is going to be absolutely gargantuan in size, so this is something I think you guys should take a look at. Obviously, I imagine the majority of you guys are going to get rid of your PlayStation 4, or you might move it to a different room, so that should free up some space, but the PlayStation 5 is going to be a hefty console, so make sure you got the room to house that thing. My room in particular is actually getting pretty limited. That's why I'm very eager to move to digital gaming, just because I just don't have the room anymore for all this stuff with my computer, with some monitors, with my television, and all that other stuff, you know, class textbooks and things like that. My room's getting pretty packed with stuff, so I'd rather save as much space as possible, and for me, using this AR feature kind of gave me a clear indication that there might have to be some shuffling around in my room to fit this console into my room, but nevertheless, take advantage of that and utilize that. But that's going to conclude this video. Again, WB Games looks to be the next to raise prices on their games. Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster is reportedly named Legendary Edition, and you can see the PS5 in your own home with augmented reality model. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.